So guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Match reaction as Arsenal have beaten Manchester United by 3-1 on the day in a game where the scoreline really did not reflect how the game went. And late on, maybe Arsenal deserved to win. And when Johnny Evans and Maguire came on, you knew what was going to happen. They were going to find a way because you cannot trust those two at the back. And first of all, Harry Maguire and Johnny Evans finishing out a game against Arsenal at the Emirates. Is it Leicester 2013 over again? We're Manchester United. And we're playing Johnny Evans and Maguire at the back. You just have to laugh. Because it's that funny. I've seen some banter things going on at this club. But that has to be right at the top. Because that is bad. You cannot have that happening. We're meant to be a top club. And we're giving Johnny Evans a contract. We've kept Maguire. We've kept McTominay. It's stupid. But it's a game where I felt Manchester United deserved to get something, and that's why I'm so frustrated, because we did enough in that game. We really did. At times we controlled it, and another day, luck goes our way. Bukayo Saka, that incident when he made that tackle on Bruno, that gets looked into for a potential red card. If that's Casemiro making that challenge, there's a 4-hour documentary the next day going on about how it should have been a red card. Another day, Højlund gets the penalty. When he came on, he looked really good for the first impressions of him. He should have got a penalty. How can you wrap your hand around a guy's chest and not allow him to get the ball and it not be a penalty? What on earth? That was a penalty in my eyes, and another day that gets given. And the offside decision, apparently I was hearing this morning people complaining, saying they drew the lines wrong. And if they did, they did. If they did, they didn't. It's a very close call. And again, another day, it could have gone our way. It's onside, and Manchester United are going on to win that game. So I thought we did really well. And I'm not angry about it. I'm not frustrated. I'm just pissed off that we didn't get a result in that game, because I thought we did really, really well. And considering our away form and how bad we are against the top 6 going away to them, that's probably the best we've seen in a very, very long time. I thought defensively, Diego Dallo and Wan-Bissaka were absolutely brilliant. Every time Saka got the ball, Dallo was first to it. Every time Martinelli got the ball, Wan-Bissaka was first to it. Defensively, we were really, really good. Yes, we sat back because we were never going to go to the Emirates and play our football, because we would have got exposed, and that's when Arsenal start scoring 4 or 5 goals. So we couldn't do that on the day. So the plan was to counter-attack, and I thought midfield-wise, Casemiro didn't have the best game. Eriksen, the pass to Rashford was really, really good. And that goal by Marcus Rashford was absolutely brilliant. And that guy is a big game player. If you check his stats against the top 6, it's brilliant. It really is. So credit to him. That goal was taken well. But you cannot concede 2 minutes after you score. You have to take control of the game. You have to set up soup, but we didn't do that. They got back into it to make it 1-1, and then it was anyone's game. And towards the end, when Maguire and Johnny Evans came on, like I said, you knew what was going to happen, because you can't trust those players to keep a clean sheet. And they didn't from them, did they? So it's unfortunate, but I thought we did really well. It's just really frustrating to lose a game before the international break, because you want the next game to come quickly so you can forget about that game on Sunday. But it is what it is, guys. But let me know your thoughts down below. But let's get into the team. So the team going into the game, it was David De Gea in goal. David De Gea, what am I talking about? This was last year when David De Gea was in goal. Andre Onana in goal. It was Diego Dallo, Victor Lindelof, Lisandro Martinez and Wan-Bissaka in the defence. Of course, Luke Shaw's injured. Reguilon could have started this game, but was on the bench, I think, but didn't make an appearance. So that was a defence going into it. In the midfield, Casemiro, Eriksen, who I forgot about in the preview. I totally forgot about Eriksen. I should have put him in the side with Bruno Fernandes on a front three of Anthony, Martial, and then Marcus Rashford going into it, back on the left, which was really, really good. So that was a team going into the game. Not really surprising, to be fair. We expected it. Maybe Sancho could have started, but the reason Jadon Sancho didn't start was apparently he's not performing well in training. And we're going to have a deeper conversation on a separate video, because there is now a 2-week international break, so we got to get something in. So we're going to go through that, have a long conversation about that, because it's troubling. It really is worrying as well, because that Jadon Sancho tweet, I don't get why he did it. Come on, we've just lost a game. And he comes out saying there's other reasons. If you're going to tweet out a tweet like that, Just go full in. Go full in. Say the reasons. Don't half do it, because what's the point? No one's going to benefit from it. You're making it toxic once again. And it's just time after time. As always seems to be a problem at Manchester United. Whatever it is, someone coming out saying things like Jadon Sancho did yesterday. People missing training. People not turning up to meetings. Results like we had yesterday. So it's just so frustrating when these things happen, because I thought that was gone. I thought that was a thing of the past, but obviously not. But we'll have to see what happens. Apparently he could face disciplinary actions as well due to what's happened, so it's not looking good for Sancho. But as I said, I'll have a deeper conversation about it and go full into it when we can, maybe next week sometime when I have time to do it. So yeah, that was a team going into the game, and we started really well, to be fair. We were controlling the game a lot, and I know it may have seemed like we were just passing it around the back, but we had to do that because we wanted Arsenal to come into us so we could counter-attack, and also it did work at times. I mean, a lot of the time it was just Onana building it forward and them getting the ball back. But I thought the way we set up was perfect going to the Emirates, because we know how dangerous they can be. And as I said, we get the first goal, they get another goal, and late on in the second half, you knew the goal was going to come. So that was the frustrating bit going into it. But other than that, the team, it was what we expected. Anything else to say about the game? Maybe. Oh, let's have a conversation about Anthony Martial, because I've heard mixed things going into it about Martial, about how apparently some people thought he was good in the game, some people thought he was poor. And again, with Martial now, it's just time to let it go with him, because I don't think going forward he is going to have a space in the side or a place in the side, because Højlund, he's going to come into it now. He came off the bench on Sunday and he's going to be our main striker. Rashford is going to be the main left winger. And it looks like Anthony is going to be the only right wing we have now, unless the Jadon Sancho thing gets sorted. And other than that, we don't really have that much depth. Of course, Amrabat signed as well, which is really promising. Hope to see him very quickly. I'm sure Reguilon will get into the team as well. So, yeah, there's things to be excited about going forward. We've not started the season well. You know, we've got 6 points on the board, isn't it? Yeah, we've got 6 points on the board. So it's not what we wanted, especially going into an international break. I know we started the season worse off last year, but again, it's not good. You don't want to start a season like this where you're expected to close the gap closer on City, because we're still 6 points off them now. You can't be 6 points off them after 3 or 4 games. It's not acceptable, and we've not started the season how we wanted to, but people are forgetting we're only 2 seasons in. We're not even 2 seasons in. We're 1 and a bit seasons into Ten Hag's reign. And how long did it take for Klopp to be successful with Liverpool? A long time. How long has it taken Arteta to be successful? A very, very long time. And they're not getting much success. So you have to give it time. People are forgetting. It's like Ten Hag has been here for 7 or 8 years. And I'm hearing Ten Hag out. Well, get him out. Too predictable. Too easy. We're conceding a lot of goals. Yes, we're conceding a lot of goals because the amount of injuries we have. Kobe Minu, Mason Mount, Lindelof limped off yesterday. Martinez limped off. Varane's injured now and he's one of our key players. So we have so many injuries. Our transfer business, let's be honest, wasn't the best. We're still a defender short because other than Varane and Martinez, you have Lindelof and Nasser and Maguire and Johnny Evans, players you don't trust in this side to do a job. Bit harsh on Lindelof because he done well, wasn't the worst yesterday, but you know, there's more problems at Manchester United, and we're still a circus act. We always will be. Well, the Glazers are still here, and apparently they're taking Manchester United off the market as well, which is absolutely great. Just what you want. But yeah, it's not been the start to the season we wanted, but there are positives to take out of that game yesterday, and I'm going to take them because it was the best we performed in a very long time, going away to a top 6 side. And another day, we get the penalty, we get the offsides, you know, we get that red card for Saka. So it's just about luck in these games, really. So yeah, I'm happy with how he performed, but the 3-1 doesn't really reflect how the game went. But let's get in to the player ratings. Andre Onana couldn't do nothing about the goals. Really impressed with him so far, just how he's able to pick up the ball, find an option, keep calm, confident on the ball as well. That save he made against Saka was a good one. Wasn't the best of saves, it was straight at him, but it was needed at a time. So yeah, no, for me, he's done a good job so far. Yes, he's conceding goals, but again, he's playing with a leaky defence in front of him at the moment. A team which has not really started the season well. Not the Manchester United we saw of last season in a way. So, yeah, Onana for me gets a solid 7. We'll give him a 7. I thought he was good yesterday. Again, couldn't do nothing about the goals. First one was a decent goal by Odegaard. Second one, again, deflected, couldn't do much. And the third one, it's just fair play, isn't it? When Gabriel Jesus sits down Dalot and they score like that. So, yeah, fair play to them for finishing off the game towards the end. Dalot did get sat down, didn't he? So, yeah. Onana gets a 7. Diego Dalot for me and Wan-Bissaka both get an 8. Absolutely brilliant on the day. Dealt with Martinelli and Saka very easily. I just thought they really impressed me in that game. And Dalot really as well, because he's one which I thought, he's gone down the pecking order. Not first choice really anymore, but came in yesterday and did a really good job against one of the best teams in the league. So really impressed with those two. Martinez and Lindelof were given both a 6. Both went off injured, and then Maguire and Evans came on, conceded the goal. And I want to talk about that. What goal was it? The second goal. Johnny Evans and Maguire were sitting there watching the ball when they could have closed him down. I was watching the game thinking, close him down! Don't let Declan Rice shoot! Close him down! They didn't, it deflected, and we didn't get our luck at the point, did we? So I was just so pissed off at that time because so much time to close it down and block the shot, and they just stood there like useless prats they are. So frustrating because you cannot finish a game with Johnny Evans and Maguire. You cannot do that. This is so frustrating because we know the problems as well. You know what? Johnny Evans, 1-year contract. Man, it's terrible. It really is bad. Yeah, so those both a 6. Wan-Bissaka and Dalot an 8. Casemiro, give him a 6. Wasn't bad on the day. Again, we couldn't really get Casemiro on the ball too much to play the balls we know he can play, to feed in Rashford, to feed in Antony. It was all about Christian Eriksen playing those balls yesterday. He got the assist for Rashford's goal, played a few nice balls as well. Antony, didn't think he had the worst game, but it wasn't really impressing me towards. But it was probably one of his better games in a long time, and he's not been what we would hope so far, and hopefully that can improve as the season goes on, because a few of these players are on their last chance at the moment. And I know it's 1 or 2 seasons in, but you've got to see more from players who are worth 70 million and above. So, yeah, Casemiro gets a 6. Bruno, I'm going to give a 7. I thought Bruno was good on the day. Didn't make too many mistakes. Again, Saka making that challenge on him could have been a red card. He wasn't as influential in the final third as he usually is. Didn't really take too many shots at goal. Again, wasn't really finding Rashford, Antony or Martial on the day, but he didn't do bad, did he? Defensively, did a job as well. So we'll give Bruno a 6. And Eriksen gets a 6 as well. We'll give the whole midfield a 6. Didn't think they were bad. Didn't get overrun as I thought we would do, with the Declan Rice being there, Odegaard as well. Very, very good players. So they did a good job. So both of them, all of them get a 6. Marcus Rashford gets a 7. The goal is just quality. I said it earlier on. It's absolutely brilliant. The way he just finds space or creates space, fires it in. Maybe Ramsdale should be doing better, but the finish is just so good. And, one of our best players of last season is going to be crucial once again for us. So, yeah, Rashford gets a solid 7. Antony will give a 6 as well. Just mentioned him. One of his better games in a while. But again, the end product needs to be there. We need to see a bit more this season from him to justify that price tag or keep him on board. So, yeah, we'll give Antony a solid 6. And the Martial we're going to give a 5 as well. Wasn't his best game. Heard people saying he was good, but I thought he was invisible. And what he does is link up play well. That's what Martial can do best. He won't get us enough goals. He probably won't get enough assists, but what he can do is hold up the ball, link up well. But now we've got Højlund for that, who hopefully is going to get more goals than Martial with this season and come on. I think there's a lot more to his game than Martial does as well. But yeah, Martial gets a 5. Højlund came on. I'm going to give him a 6. He impressed me. His physicality is there. The pace is there. Hopefully he can get a lot of goals for us this season now, because we're going to need Højlund to be a very important player so this team can be successful. So there's a lot of pressure on Højlund to do the job. Coming into Manchester United, playing striker, the greats that played there. There's so much pressure on him to do well this season. I hope he does live up to it, because if he can, he's going to be a good player. We know that, because first impressions were very, very good, and he's still young, isn't he? So he's only going to get better as he goes on for the season. So yeah, those are my player ratings. Erik ten Hag for me, subs got it right, to be fair. Set up the way I would have set up against Arsenal. Didn't allow them too many opportunities. Again, we dealt with Arsenal really, really well, so you can't blame Ten Hag for anything on the day. Thought we did enough to get a decent result out of it, and at the end of the day, it just didn't go our way. That happens sometimes. It's frustrating because you never want to lose to Arsenal. You really don't. And the way we played, we shouldn't have. So that's why I am pissed off. That's why I'm frustrated, because there's positives to take from the game. And when you don't win a game like this, you do feel it for a bit. Going into an international break, it's not good. You don't want to be there. or going into it with a loss. We've seen it before how it can affect a team because you want to get back to the next game as soon as possible. But Brighton coming up, Bayern Munich coming up. There's so many big games for Manchester United going forward. So yeah, guys, let me know your thoughts down below. If you did enjoy, please make sure to smash a like. I'm sorry the match reaction wasn't sooner. I wasn't able to do it, so I had to find time. I was working today as well, so I'll try and get it out at some point for you guys. Maybe the Monday, maybe the Tuesday. I'll have to wait and see what time it comes out. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.